Call the meeting to order at 7 o'clock on January 24th. For the agenda of the SVSU, if there's any public comment, it's finance operation related, treasury report, cost agenda, minutes, warrants, resignations, retirements, leave of absence, or nominations. Policy enclosed, there's superintendent evaluation to be warned and the immunization to be warned. And there's the superintendent's report, and there's the chair report, and any other business that might become before us. And there is some core information stuff that was given to you in your packet to do with student enrollments in January and budget status report. Get a motion to approve the agenda as is.
So move it.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Any public comments? None seen. I'm going to wait just a minute because Dave is on his way down before we actually start down the list here.
Does he move like a local comment? If he does, start.
Well, finance operations related.
Oh, it's not me.
Somebody going to talk about that? Or
No, I don't think there's any items to talk about except to accept it.
other than to accept it? So can I get a motion to accept the finance operations reports?
So move.
Second.
Any discussion on any of them? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Consent agenda for the minutes, warrants, resignations, retirements, leave of absence, and nominations.
Move to approve.
Second.
One correction to the minutes of December 19th, line 29, it should be 4N, not 4N.
Okay. Okay, with that amendment to the minutes, I have a motion to,
Can I just ask a question about one item
Sure.
that was included in there? I guess, I don't know where it fell. It was a non-form for a special ed co-leader, and it was replacing a continuation head teacher. Could I just figure out what that is? What it means? What's a continuation head teacher? This is not
Looks
gonna
like I
hold
got
up
half a
much.
package.
no, it's-
I just didn't know what it was.
I guess I didn't get all the documents.
The revised agenda?
You got to revise.
Is that from the revised agenda or was it?
No,
No, it's a psychologist.
there were two positions like that.
and these are in the nominations, is that what you're saying?
It's a nomination form.
Okay, let me
It's
find it.
one of the special ed team co-leaders, I believe
Literacy coach,
I think it's
special ed team coach.
I think both of them were
Both of them were
listed
listed?
as continuation of teachers, and I didn't know what that phrase meant.
I don't know either.
Funkies.
I'll try to figure it out. Is it special ed?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a special ed team co-leader for, I think, the middle school.
Yeah, for the middle school, you
Yeah.
got two middle schools, but they,
A team co-leader. I don't know the names of the two people you're talking about because there's some of them that's here.
well, there's two people. B and C is what you're referring to. What is, you asked, well, what is a co-leader? You asking something else?
No,
Yeah,
just
we're asking for what a continuation
head teacher.
head
is.
teacher is.
Just,
Is it like continue,
See, there's
like
two.
education that teachers have to do? Continual ed?
No.
No.
It doesn't have to do with-
Then I don't know the continuation teacher.
well, it doesn't need to hold up.
I
the
think it's
process.
replacing someone else that was the head teacher, and it's just revising it to say this new person will be taking over that
Yeah, there's
for the
only-
rest of the year.
Right.
There's two of them, right?
I know we discussed it at Mount Anthony, and I
Well,
can't remember exactly all the details for that, but it was a person that was coming back and it was creating some
it's
movement.
misdescribed then. It
Yeah.
ought to be cleared up because if that's an action and this is a name. I know.
Dave, you remember what it was in terms of what Mr.
Find
Payne
the word.
did with the Student Support
I
Council?
wasn't here on Thursday, so.
No, it was the time before that, I think.
Non-special
He
ed.
did the student council.
It's about special ed. It's that one that they showed me.
And they're both
They're both
Co-leaders.
co-leaders,
see?
at the middle school, but then one was coming in to do some, split the work up for counseling students and doing some other things, so.
I'm sure we'll have forgotten it by next month.
Yeah.
Well, the question you want to know what a co-leader is, or what?
No,
No, he said they called
What a
it.
continuation head teacher is, it was just a curiosity.
Yeah.
Wasn't
It's to-
intended to take.
I think it's to
You didn't know it was
continue
gonna be
the
that
position
difficult.
of head teacher that someone else left.
Continuation head teacher, 2016, 2017, replacing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's what it says on both.
That's in lieu of a name.
Mhm.
Yeah, who was there before, right?
Right.
I'll pass it along that that was not clear.
Okay.
Not a big deal.
Okay?
Okay. With that discussion ended, all those in favor say aye. That's consent agenda.
Yeah.
Okay, policies, number 2600, superintendent evaluations to be warned.
Second.
Any discussion on that one?
Yes, I just wanted to mention that I made the same comment at the Shaftesbury meeting when we were looking at this policy that, and I do have it right here. I just wanted to ask, and I had asked, and we sent it back to the committee, so I'm really just sharing something that I've already said in another setting, but whether we wanted to have a little more flexibility than the policy currently allows for starting the process in August. There's some changes that have been proposed to make the dates a little more flexible, but the August date hadn't been, that was not a change that was proposed. So I know we're going through the process right now, it's kind of timely, and I don't know whether people think.
Well, you're saying, what that change was to take the times out and say, at the August meeting, the school board would make a timetable of items to be done for the superintendent in terms of the plans for the year. So we said that you needed to be, that's your first meeting in August, and that's when you ought to be planning things.
Well,
Right, and I guess the question I had of, sometimes the board doesn't meet in August, for example, or it might, just because it wasn't meeting in July, find that it makes more sense to do it in September. But
I didn't, I didn't realize that, in terms of that when we talked about that, you had the committee that did the study, and the committee of the superintendent was the ones that really came back to the board to ask that we make that an August review time so that we can make sure we plan everything for the right part of the year. If you're saying that all the boards don't meet in August,
They do, it's July.
typically.
July we don't meet.
July they don't do, but I'm saying August is one of the reasons that everybody wanted to do it, because they should be. And so your question is that if they don't, what do we do? Well, it's just like if we decided that there's a problem here tonight, with another meeting, we postpone that meeting off to that, you can't do that, and that wouldn't affect this timeline table.
may I point out that item number 4, both of these policies have a big warn after them. So it seems like the appropriate time to have this discussion is at your board, which you did
Right.
already. But I guess you wanted to bring it up so everybody would be apprised of your particular opinion on that, at least to take it into account.
Right, and I wanted to bring it up, and since it's this board that's actually affected by the
By
policy
the
rather
actual
than the
Prescriptions, yes. Yeah.
So you're suggesting that we do it from August to September?
No,
No.
I'm just suggesting that we acknowledge that having it written in stone that it's in August could potentially only give us a little less flexibility in that making it, wording it such that it opened it up to having it be in September, for example.
Right, I got you,
Yeah.
If for some reason, we'll, it's gonna come back to us, and we can maybe change the word to, we'll set it, it'll still be August, but if some reason the board doesn't meet in August and meet in September, the actions are to be taken or something along that line.
Could just say, or at subsequent meetings.
Our subsequent meeting
Right.
is along that line.
Yeah, and that'll,
That'll
because
take care of
usually,
that.
you know, chairing that group that does it, that committee, I do know that there's times when we'll meet, but then it's the other boards meeting to get in their data takes time. So the sooner we meet and say, hey, go out and get your data.
Well, this one in particular is just to set a timeline and the goals for the year.
Right.
Which was why we wanted it to be early in the school year.
Yeah,
To
but we can say
become
so.
prior to the actions
I
that will
don't know
be taken.
whether we have historically held a meeting in August, successfully
Well,
held a meeting in
it
August, and whether.
Came at odd times,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
it wasn't
Right.
quite as effective for goal setting.
Well, and in the process that we're working right now on it, we're setting goals that'll be in the evaluation that we report on before March 1st. And those are the goals we're looking for him to reach next year, or him or her, whoever's the superintendent. So you're really setting goals at that time. I think what might be in August is that you're looking at a review or something maybe of where those are, and that there's still the appropriate goals to be reached.
The timetable, the committee that you were on came to the board, and then we'll discuss it, and requested that we adjust this information so that you'll have a notification to say that in August, you need to prepare for the year. And that's what that does, is say
Okay.
at your first meeting prior to school opening or sequentially after the next meeting, that you need to prepare for the superintendent's evaluation throughout the rest of the year. And it has a sequence of things that you're doing. And that's all that's saying to do.
We'll have
That's a
enough
review of the
feedback to
goals.
be able to
Yeah.
wordsmith it differently, so it'll be okay.
Yeah, okay. Anything else? Okay, I'll accept the motion to approve warning that.
So move.
Second it.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, immunization,
Move to
5110.
approve.
Second.
Any discussion on that one? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Superintendent report.
I'll keep this report very short. I would just like to mention that the superintendent, Mr. Culkeen, and I have been working with the principals very closely over the past few weeks to go over their goals and really look at how they're doing in meeting their school improvement goals, including looking at some of their student achievement data. And so that has been sort of a priority for us, meeting personally with each one and checking in to see if they need supports or resources and how we can help them achieve those goals. And then that is comes before their own evaluations, which will also come in early March.
Okay, good.
That's it.
That's it. Okay, chair's report. I'll report on the fact that the superintendent evaluation is moving forward. We've gone through a preliminary first step, and we've got a number of schools that have reported in, and there's a couple more that we're getting data from. And we hope to have some sort of statement or report by in our February meeting, February 28th, because we're supposed to have something done by March 1st. So hopefully we can come back and get that report then. The committee will probably meet sometime in early February, just to finish up. And that's, we're all in the report. Me. With that done, other,
The warrants need to go around. Leon?
Liam, the warrants is signed.
I have-
Any other?
Yeah, this is, actually relates to this additional non-form. I wouldn't change my opinion, but I voted for it. But what does nationally certified school psychologist mean?
Well, they all have a certification process, just like teachers do. So they have to meet the requirements of those different boards.
I've just never seen that particular. Is that like teachers can go for national board certification, what is that?
National board certification?
Yeah, right, that's it, right.
The psychologists have their own board, that's all.
I was gonna say, I
Right.
see it, but I just assume it's just,
similar process.
Yes.
Well, it seems like a pretty good recommendation. Are we doing just one?
That's what it looks like.
Any other in front of us?
But you
Move
can-
we
It's all right,
adjourn.
if he needs
I
it.
got a motion to adjourn.
Second move.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Done. Thank you all for coming.
That was a record.
Record.